Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Stranded Deep Tutorials. In this episode, we'll see how to create a barge or a raft that is big enough to carry crates and won't flip over. It will be slower, it will be harder to maneuver. For that reason, I suggest creating a big barge and a smaller raft with an engine that will be a lot faster to maneuver, a lot faster to move with. Okay, let's get straight to it. Okay, so here you can see the buoy balls. You just open them up with a axe or a knife or something like that. You can pick them up. There are 5 balls and you'll need 5 for the barge base. 5 balls for 1 piece of base, or 3 barrels, or 2 tires. Here you can see the tires. So you have 3 tires. You'll have to carry them one by one with the right click method, so just hold right click, or if you have enough dexterity you can push all 3 together. It doesn't always work and it's a bit hard, but if you manage and if they're far away you could try that. Just like this, all 3 being pushed together. Okay, once you have everything to shore, for each tire base you will need a lashing and a hammer to be able to create them. Either one of the hammers you find from the wrecks, or you can create one that's pretty easy. So in case you're on an island and you forgot the hammer home and you want to create a barge there, you can just create a crude hammer. It's pretty easy. Here we'll start with the front end of the barge, starting with barrels. They say it doesn't matter for the buoyancy what materials you use, although I have the feeling that the barrels float best, and the buoy balls second, tires third, and the stick base the last one. Why I'm saying this is, usually if I put a tire base on one side and buoy ball base on the other, it tends to lean to the part of the tires. So this would mean that the buoy balls are floating a bit higher. Maybe the buoyancy is the same, but the height is different. That could be it. So I'm usually placing barrels under the sail and tires under the rudder. So the rudder sits lower in the water and the sail sits higher. Obviously, if the nose of the barge sits in the water, it will slow it down and it will turn a bit slower. You'll actually feel it. Now, to rotate the sail, you just hit Q or E and it will rotate. You see the little arrows, so point it in the direction you want the barge to go. Now, as it sits right now, it can already float, you can move with it. So if you've decided to start the barge build like I did, not on my home base because I found some barrels there, you can move it like this. It's not highly recommended without a rudder, but since I need to build it a lot bigger, I won't be adding a rudder right now, or if not, I'll just have to destroy it, and I don't want to do that. If the water is calm like it is right now, you can just point it in that direction, lower the sails, and you're off. So the direction will be the one you set in. Again, you can create everything just out of wood, so just out of sticks if you want. I love the barrels on a barge. It's a lot more realistic. Now, in order to be able to build on it on land, you have two options. So either you put it in water and you build on water, or you raise it on a rock so it stays out of the water. That way you'll be able to build the bases without touching ground. Otherwise the bases will touch ground and you'll see them in red. I have some tires over here and some barrels. Now we're gonna create a barrel base. So you can create the barge with 1, 2, 3, 4. I've never done it with 5 slots for crates. It's a little too big for my taste. But I'll be creating it with 3 slots for the crates. So the barge will have a total of 5 pieces in length and 3 pieces wide. So you'll need a total of 15 pieces of barge. That's a lot. Now I'll be creating the sides. And for now, from this island I have the entire part of the barge that I can build here. I'll have to move to the next one that I already uncovered. Now we'll be creating the end base with the rudder. So we're gonna go again foundation or raft bases. Again the plank base, I love the plank base look. And here's the rudder, you place it like so. And you operate it just like the paddle, so you hit E key and you'll just operate it. Now I'm gonna go to the next island and get the rest of the materials from there. With the rudder it's basically a raft, a big raft. You can see it's pretty unstable right now, it moves a lot. I still have to build a bit of bases. There's Sharky. Don't worry, with the speed the raft has, he won't be able to catch up and flip it over like he does the smaller one. And he's gone. Okay, now for the other parts of the base. We'll continue with the tires. As you can see, it's red because it's sitting on the sand. You won't be able to build like that, so you'll have to move the barge. You'll have to move it either in the water, but here on this island there are sharks there, so I won't move it in the water. Or you can place it on the ground, on the rocks. It will lift itself up and you'll be able to build. Now taking the tires, and voila. As you can see, it's all blue. Except for that part. But we're not gonna build it there. We'll continue with the tires on the sides. Now I have tires and barrels all over this island. A lot to walk. It's easier to build it there and attach it at the barge instead of carrying two tires. You're just making one trip instead of two. Now for the barrel base. We're almost there. We're creating the sides of the raft so the crates won't fall off. The last side. I would have loved to place another barrel base there, but I don't have another barrel base. Now we can create the floors, the raft floors. Again, mostly out of plank, because I don't have enough plank right now. I'm not gonna create plank right now. I'll create that in another tutorial, so you guys can see how you create planks, not only finding them. So right now I'll place the rest out of scrap metal. I have it, so why not use it? Okay. With this, the barge is set. So you don't have to build anything else right now. You'll be able to create more buoyancy by adding more to the sides or in the front or in the back to add more pieces that will create more buoyancy. As long as you don't fill it up a lot, you'll be okay. If you fill it up, then add some tires over the crates, then add some barrels maybe or something like that, it will go down in the water. It won't sink, but water will be over it, so the stuff you place on top will float away. As long as you add more bases, you'll be okay. The only thing is the more bases you have, the lower maneuverability you'll have. So it will steer a lot harder. Now, we just have a few crates for an example of how to place them in. And for now we'll place 4, as long as when I move to the other islands and as I find more crates, I place them in here. We can hear Sharky. Now, you place them like that and you lift them up so they'll stay on the smaller side and occupy less space. Wondering where's that shark. Can't see him. 2 done, 2 to go. Yeah, just roll into place. Come on. Okay. The last crate that we have right now. And we're done. Now, obviously you'll be able to complete the entire part of the barge. You just fill it up until the end. If you're scared, you can start with only one base. So if it's the first time, maybe start with 1 or 2 bases. A lot of the time I do it with 2 bases, not 3 or 4. It will hold up to 4. I don't know if it will hold more, but I don't see why. I think it will be a lot harder to maneuver. This is how it looks. Hope you enjoy it. Hope it helps. If you have any ideas, leave a comment below. If you like the video, hit like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and see you on the next one. Until then, happy gaming!